everyone! So it's another book review, and this time the book that we are reviewing is this book. Lewis and Tolkien, Tolkien and Lewis, and C.S. Lewis, The Gift of Friendship. This book took a little bit longer to read. It's basically like a biography of Tolkien and a biography of C.S. Lewis in one book, and they're kind of like paralleled. In fact, the way it's written, they'll have like these breaks in the chapter. I don't know if you can see that. So you'll read a section and it'll probably be like about Tolkien, and then when the break starts, the next section will be about Lewis. So it really is kind of like parallel biographies of both of them. The gist of the book is about them and their friendship, and how their friendship influenced each other and influenced their writings and their works and their lives and all of that stuff. The big reason why I wanted to read this was because I had heard so much about their friendship and how it had influenced each other. Like, for example, I knew that like Tolkien had led C.S. Lewis from atheism to Christianity, but what really intrigued me was that if it wasn't for C.S. Lewis's encouragement, Tolkien would have never finished or even written The Lord of the Rings. It probably never would have been published. It would have just been like a little hobby. And how just the encouragement and sort of the push from C.S. Lewis really drove Tolkien to finish those books. I don't know, I really liked it. It was a long read, not long in that it was like boring or anything like that. It was just long in that there was a lot of information in here. I mean, it's not a very big book, but like I said, it was like parallel biographies of both of them. It starts off, you know, like when they were little, like when they were born, and kind of, you know, the influence that they had when they were young and how that led, you know, to like their love of literature and things like that. And it goes all the way up until, you know, when they die. It talks about just all the in-between. It talks about the Inklings. It gives even some history of like Oxford and kind of what was going on at the time. Some historical stuff. Just all these different things like that. Because, you know, they were in World War I and then World War II happened, so it talks, you know, it doesn't like go in depth about those wars, but it does talk about, you know, how that affected them and what they were doing and just things like that. So, like I said, it wasn't a long read in that it was boring and like, you know, it was really hard to stick with it. It was just a long read in that there was a lot there, you know, to get through like a chapter. You know, they're long chapters because it only has like, I don't know, yeah, like 12 chapters. But they're really long, and there's like a lot of writing in each chapter. But I did enjoy it. I did like it a lot. It gave me a lot of, well, it made me want to read a lot of other books, because they mention a lot of other books written by them and even by other people. And what's kind of neat, the way this guy wrote this book was that whenever he would mention a book that somebody wrote, he didn't just say like, oh yeah, they wrote this book. He would kind of go a little in depth to, you know, why they wrote it, what was the inspiration, what the book was about, what were the deeper like themes or meanings and stuff like that. So it really made you want to read, you know, these other books that, you know, they wrote or their friends wrote. In fact, I do have, in fact, right here, this is a book with C.S. Lewis's writing, some of them, and I do have like the Narnia books, and I have Lord of the Rings, but I've never read any of them. I've read, I think, one of the Narnia books, and when I was reading this, I was reading The Hobbit, and I actually just finished The Hobbit. So I was reading both of these at the same time. And it was like Tolkien month here, or week, while I was reading both of these. And this is actually kind of fun to read, especially when I was reading this, and especially after I read this, because I think I kind of appreciated The Hobbit a little bit more, just because kind of knowing like why, like what inspired it and things like that. And this was that I didn't know that The Hobbit was actually a children's book. I didn't know that at the time. And The Lord of the Rings was supposed to be a children's book, but then it ended up just becoming an adult, you know, a book for adults basically. Even though a lot of kids read it and still read it. But yeah, I liked it. It was interesting. Like I said, it gave a, you know, history about them and their writings. You know, it was just, you know, just kind of interesting to see where the inspiration came from, you know, why they wrote certain things that they did, and just the impact that each other had on, you know, on each other and on each other's writings and work. I thought that was really interesting. And yeah, I would definitely recommend this book. I would recommend The Hobbit too. I would definitely recommend this book. I think if you like biographies, even if you aren't familiar with Tolkien and Lewis, I still think you would enjoy this. If you like literature, history, any of that kind of stuff, I think you would really like this book. And if you just like, you know, Narnia or Lord of the Rings, you probably would enjoy this too, because it gives you some background, why those books were written, how they were written, what inspired them, and the characters, and all that stuff. So I would definitely recommend this book. I'll be leaving a link to Amazon where you can get this. I actually got this on Amazon, so I'll just be leaving a link in the description below to Amazon where you can pick up this book. And I'll leave a link for The Hobbit as well if you guys are interested. I actually got this at a yard sale in a book set with all the other Lord of the Rings, with the other 3 Lord of the Rings books. I will be leaving a link to both of these books if you guys are interested in getting both of them or either one. So guys, I hope you all are having a fantastic day and this video was helpful and you enjoyed it, all of that stuff. Go out, have a good day. Make sure to subscribe to see more, you know, book review videos, art videos, and I've got some other video ideas coming up that I'm excited to do. So be sure to subscribe, like, and comment if you want to. Yeah, stay awesome, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye!